Coming up, learn how Omaha Fashion Week kicked off its 31st season.
Then see how UNO is hosting an inaugural language celebration.
Finally, see how one Omaha trombonist is helping to bring jazz to the ears of the city.
All this and more on the Omaha News.
Good afternoon, I'm John Stanton.
And I'm Dayton and Sarah.
Americans who are struggling to repay federal student loans because of financial hardship could get some of their debt canceled under President Joe Biden's latest proposal for widespread loan forgiveness. Several categories of borrowers would be eligible for relief under Biden's second try at widespread cancellation after the Supreme Court rejected his first plan last year. Those with older loans or large sums of interest are being targeted for relief. For example, on Thursday, the Education Department expanded its proposal to include those who face financial hardship.
UNO Theater's most recent production, The Diary of Anne Frank, does not shy away from delivering messages of humanity, perseverance, and greed. The play simply serves as a tool of remembrance. Recent headlines from CBS to the BBC continue to showcase the persistent existence of discrimination and racism. Jewish UNO professor and director Scott Glasser says that history and art, like UNO's production, The Diary of Anne Frank, can help us understand and confront the ongoing struggles against discrimination and racism.
It seems like sometimes our laws are broken down because of popular opinion, but we forget that there's a human being facing us. And this type of remembrance, remembering the past, looking at history, is a way to connect to the present and the future.
UNO Theater has reached out to genocide and Holocaust studies in the Omaha metro area for the play, including the Samuel Bach Museum. Glasser says that the museum is one of many in Omaha.
Omaha has a remarkable array of people who keep the past alive.
Several plays have gone on here. This is UNO Theater's Black Box. This is where The Diary of Anne Frank will continue to show every night until Sunday, March 3rd. UNO Theater major and actor Brian Kilpatrick Peterson, who plays Otto Frank in The Diary of Anne Frank, says that with acting as a person from a tragic historic period, heavy research had to be done and certain questions had to be asked.
You have to take a hard look at, what did they go through? They were up there for several years. So, what did they go through during that time and why were they there?
The Diary of Anne Frank will continue to have shows every night from now till March 3rd. Check out the UNO Theater website for times as they differ per day. A fast-moving wildfire burning through the Texas Panhandle grew into the second largest blaze in state history today, forcing evacuations and triggering power outages as firefighters struggled to contain the widening flames. The sprawling blaze was part of a cluster of fires that burned out of control and threatened rural towns, where local officials spent the night shutting down roads and urging residents to leave their homes. The largest of the fires, which grew to nearly 800 square miles, jumped into parts of neighboring Oklahoma and remained completely uncontained as dawn broke. According to the Texas A&M Forest Service, authorities have not said what ignited the fires, but strong winds, dry grass, and unseasonably warm temperatures have fed the blazes.
Area designers took their clothing to the runway last week as Omaha Fashion Week celebrated its 31st season. Reporter Peyton Holbeck follows the latest trends making their way to the city's fashion scene.
Omaha Fashion Week is back at the Omaha Design Center. The showcase brings designers, models, photographers, and more all under one roof to appreciate design.
It really just is a time for everybody to come together to display, their strengths in a city that doesn't normally promote the creative world.
This season of Fashion Week takes place from February 21st to the 24th, with this spring season's theme being Audacious. According to the Omaha Event Group, they've already sold over 2,700 tickets.
This season we have 20 emerging designers, so that's designers who are either new to showing on a runway, who are new to designing in general, and 14 featured designers.
Of these featured designers is Hawa Couture and owner Hawa Moya, who says her collection holds a special meaning.
My mom inspired this collection. I just wanted to kind of show some appreciation to her. She's been my fashion inspiration in my whole life.
Omaha Fashion Week is a great place for designers like Hawa Couture to show their work, but also for models. Omaha resident Georgie Myers says Omaha Fashion Week is what launched her career.
There was an agent from Chicago who was here at my very first Omaha Fashion Week show who, from watching me walk, decided that he wanted to sign me at his agency in Chicago.
Omaha Fashion Week's impact on the community and its residents has been a staple in the metro since 2008. The show's impact has been felt all over the globe as designers move to bigger things, but they always come back to where it all started.
There were 4 nights showcasing looks on the runway,
and another day for consumers to purchase those collections. Organizers say they wanted to celebrate audacity in people's voices, to be heard, to be the catalyst for change.
Ben, how many designers were on hand this year?
Well, the Omaha Design Center hosted 34 emerging designers, 172 looks from high school and college programs, and 530 models, along with almost 3,000 in attendance. Omaha Fashion Week will be back later this year for the fall season.
Coming up next on the Omaha News, the city is showing high school students how they can expand their language studies after graduation.
Then we'll take you live to the Holland Center, where a nationally acclaimed jazz artist shares the complexity of jazz with his trombone.
Create, perform, communicate. College of Communication, Fine Arts, and Media.
Nearly 3,000 student athletes competing in 19 varsity sports from 9 institutions. Compete for nationally ranked teams to become academic All-Americans and NCAA champions. Nearly 100,000 students and more than 800,000 alumni celebrate their schools as they rise to reach the summit. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders reach the summit today.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha's bookstore is home to more than books. The UNO bookstore accommodates all students' needs with phone and laptop repairs at the iFix UNO station or free residence hall delivery. The bookstore, located in the Milevale Student Center, is full of Maverick merchandise. Find sweatshirts for chilly Nebraska days or cozy UNO mugs for every coffee fix. Shop anytime at unobookstore.com.
Somebody punch the camera. Good curling.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha will be hosting its inaugural language celebration this Friday. Reporter Ben Batafarano says that hundreds of high school students from the metro area will be present.
The Department of Foreign Languages and Literature is about to put on their inaugural language celebration. The event is designed to show local high schoolers from Omaha Public Schools their opportunities for further language study once they graduate. The department and OPS have been planning the event since last spring. The chair of the department, Dr. Cecilia Tokaimasa Hatch, says that part of the goal of the event is to empower students.
Try to create a space for them to feel proud of their knowledge, feel excited about the language that they're learning, and giving them a space where they could showcase their skills and just have fun.
The language celebration will take place at the Milevale Student Center, just east of the campus bell tower. The high schoolers will start on the first floor of the Student Center. Here, they'll visit information booths for the different language programs, all of which will be staffed by professors and UNO students. Later in the morning, students will progress upstairs to participate in judged events. These include skits, dancing, song and poetry performance, and poster creation. Undergraduate Spanish major Emily Erickson says that studying language reaps vast rewards.
Not only have I stood out more as a job candidate when I've searched for employment opportunities, but I've also just been able to communicate with a whole other group of people that I previously could not have communicated with.
Students will be assigned skill levels ranging from beginning to advanced, including a category for heritage speakers. For the Omaha News, I'm Ben Badafarano.
Stop by the Milo Bell Student Center this Friday to see some of the language study information booths.
A local Omaha theater is getting creative when it comes to boosting ticket sales. The Alamo Drafthouse shows classic movies including Happy Gilmore, No Country for Old Men, and The Phantom of the Opera since December of 2023. According to MovieWeb.com, movie theaters across the country are in a surge of re-releasing classic movies. They are also happening because of the delay in filmmaking caused by the writer's strike, which ended in September of 2023. Theater major Braden Oglesby says the feature of recent movies has affected the lack of ticket sales.
Ticket sales haven't been great for any movies lately. Most of the movies that have been coming out just haven't gotten a lot of excitement from the public. Yeah, there's just not much bringing people to theaters right now.
Critics predict the ticket sales slump should end soon, as the critically acclaimed Dune 2 is set to be released on Friday. Multiple titles premiering in March are going to be shown at the Alamo Drafthouse. Movies such as Kung Fu Panda 4 and Ghostbusters: The Frozen Empire. Mitch McConnell, the longest-serving Senate leader in history, will step down from his position as the Republican leader of the Senate in November. McConnell, who turned 82 last week, announced his decision today in the well of the Senate. McConnell said he plans to serve out the rest of his Senate term, which ends in January 2027.
Omaha is becoming more musically diverse each year. Trombonist of the Year Wycliffe Gordon blessed the ears of Omaha locals at the Holland Center last Friday. The Holland Center has an immense energy within its walls, with Wycliffe Gordon in town. Gordon was named Trombonist of the Year for a record-breaking 13th time. He also received the Louis Award, Infernani Trombone Award, and the Satchmo Award. Concert attendee Sierra
that I think relaxes people and allows folks to reset while also contributing to a hyper-positive experience overall.
The sold-out performance from the Suzanne and Walter Scott Recital Hall was the first time the trombonist has played in Omaha. 400 jazz lovers of all ages enjoyed his style of jazz. Reporter Samantha Pastorino joins us live from the Holland Center.
As for what's next in the Holland Center, this Saturday evening and Sunday afternoon, they're featuring Latin Fire. The Vibrant Symphony celebrates Latin American music. This concert will be held in the Holland's Peter Kiewit Center that seats 2,000 people. The space is first of its kind with its unique structure. The venue is modeled after a European shoebox and built with fine-grained woodwork. These bold designs are intentional as they emphasize the acoustics of each musical guest, creating an immersive experience for the audience. If you can't make it this weekend, clear your calendars for March 8th and 9th. A cappella group Rajatan is partnering with the Omaha Symphony for a concert of ABBA hits. Mamma Mia, Dancing Queens, and other classics will be played. Officials say this show will quickly sell out. Back to you, Dayton and John.
Wycliffe Gordon's next stop will be in New York at the Village Vanguard this weekend.
After the break, it's senior night on the hardwood for one men's basketball player.
Coming up, we'll get a look at how fans of the Crimson and Black cheer on their favorite teams.
The media landscape is vastly different from the past. Conglomeration and consolidation have changed the skill sets required to succeed. Journalists must not only know how to conduct research, interview, and write stories, but they also have to know how to shoot and edit the stories they tell. Likewise, creative media professionals must know how to interview, research, and write the stories they shoot and edit. In the School of Communication, we require students to gain experience and proficiencies employers are seeking. The two hardest mediated genres to produce are live sports and newscasts. Thus, once our students are taught the basics, they are given opportunities to improve the abilities at these genres. Capstones 1 and 2 feature the culmination of skill sets. Once students produce the Omaha News, they can use it in their demo reel to show their skills. From here, students can go anywhere.
I never thought I'd be standing in the clouds looking down on the ancient ruins of the Incan Empire. I never thought I'd live among the street artists in Valparaiso. I never thought I'd make friends that would last a lifetime.
Adventure's out there, and as Mavericks, it's up to us to find it.
Stop thinking, start doing. Visit educationabroad.unomaha.edu.
My name is Lillian Tiemeyer, and I will be bringing you this week's UNO sports updates. Frankie Fiddler is our Maverick Spotlight of the Week. Reporter JL Johnson caught up with Fiddler earlier this week to see who he is after the basketball season.
Frankie Fiddler, a junior on the Omaha men's basketball team, says he's had the NBA in his sights since before high school.
You know, I started playing when I was like 5, but I didn't really start taking it serious until about 8th grade. So I would say around that 8th grade mark is when I was, I actually want to do this and this be my dream.
Assistant coach Warren Niles says within the first days of being on the job, Fiddler was asking for extra workouts. Fiddler says Coach Niles is a big role model for him at Omaha.
We're really cool. He's a great teammate, works hard. He's a workaholic, so he's always in the gym. That's kind of how me and him got close.
This past week, Fiddler broke the single-season scoring record for the program in its D1 era. He says once he's in season, basketball and school is all that he focuses on.
No, that's my personality, is just being funny, but just when I get on the court, my mindset just changes and no fun and games anymore.
Frankie was born and raised in Omaha, and he's always wanted to play for the Mavericks. In his junior season, he is currently averaging 20 points per game and about 6 steals per game. But could he have been a two-sport athlete for the Mavericks?
During the off season, I love to play golf all the time, probably 5 or 6 times a week.
Fiddler says after his basketball career, he hopes to be living somewhere warm and where he can golf every day.
Golf is so fun, and it's so easy on the body. I love golf.
So his golf swing is, I would say, mediocre. I think my swing is a little better than his, but he's working on it. He's getting a lot better.
For the Omaha News, I'm JL Johnson.
The Omaha men's basketball team is currently 7-8 in the conference and are looking to get another win on Thursday night before starting their Summit League tournament on March 8th. Omaha basketball forward Nick Davis played his final basketball game at Baxter Arena last week. It was senior night, and the Maverick was among his parents, coaches, and fans celebrating his final home game. Davis spent the last year on the court wearing crimson and black. He ended his regular season home game career with a 1-point win over Oral Roberts.
Kind of a long time coming, honestly, because I've been in college for 5 years, and it's really been a journey to meet the people, nice people along the way, and build lifelong relationships. It really opened my eyes and see how old I'm really getting as well.
Davis put up 16 points in his final home game against the Golden Eagles. The 6'9" senior signed on with the Mavericks last June under head coach Chris Crutchfield.
You couldn't tell he was a new player.
Davis began his basketball career at Southern Nazarene University, where he scored 876 career points. Omaha continues their road trip tomorrow night at St. Thomas for their last regular season home game. Baxter Arena, where more than 1,000 of UNO fans come together to cheer on our Maverick athletes as they go through their competitions. The fan base has increased exponentially in the last couple of years. Follow me as I take a look at why fans love to go to games.
Fans, excited faces, ringing bells, all the noises coming from the committed and roaring fans from Baxter Arena. The fans at athletic events have grown exponentially, and the production crew has been working hard to create an environment to help engage more fans at the events to create long-lasting memories. Assistant Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement, Sadie Lamplot, describes what changes they have done to help keep fans entertained and what future ideas they have in store for fans.
You know, people like to watch live events during the break rather than sitting and not just listening to music. So having something to watch and getting fans a chance that, oh, maybe I could participate, that's something that we're trying to work more towards rather than just them sitting by themselves in their thoughts. Yes, our goal essentially is to leave people entertained by the time that they walk into our building all the way to the end and they walk out.
Fans come from all over to watch these athletes play, and they get a chance to participate in events where they can win money, car washes, or even food vouchers.
For some fans, going to athletic events means more than just watching the athletes compete, but it is a way to make memories with their family. Grandmother Mariella and grandson John Pucconi express how excited they are to attend hockey games at Baxter Arena.
Oh, we are very excited, aren't we? Tell them, are you excited? Yep.
Baxter Arena is striving to create a welcome environment for all the fans who attend the events. They strive to create a long-lasting memory for them to have for the rest of their lives.
Baxter plans to continue to have their fan attendance continue to rise, along with keeping them entertained for the rest of the athletic season. That's all for sports this week. We'll have more sports news from around the Omaha Metro for you next week. When we come back, we'll wrap up today's news. Don't go anywhere.
It's a super fun activity. The group only rehearses as needed to prepare for the music that they provide at games. And we're always looking for ways to continue showing what the very talented students in the Maverick Machine are capable of.
I really enjoy doing pep band because it's music that is very familiar to me.
There's a unique educational experience right here in Omaha. With access to top-rated programs, in-demand degrees, and a worldwide community of graduates, UNO prepares students for life, wherever it may lead. From Omaha to Italy to Uganda to Japan, Mavericks are working in communities around the globe. So where will a degree from UNO take you? UNO, access to exceptional, access to the world. Learn more at unomaha.edu.
The Nebraska Board of Education is discussing a newly proposed ban on sexually explicit content in all Nebraska public school libraries. The proposition comes from board member Kirk Penner after months of challenges from communities in Nebraska and the nation. This ban would require school districts to create a public catalog for all their books and allow Nebraskans to ask the Department of Education to directly review a district's decision to keep or ban a proposed book. According to data from PEN America, the 2022 to 2023 school year saw a 33% increase in instances of banned books in K-12 public schools. The reasons cited are typically that the books are too sexually explicit or age inappropriate for public schools to carry, but that complaints more often than not come from outside the school itself and instead from the local community. Chris Library is exempt from this hypothetical ban, but its consequences could be far-reaching. President of the Nebraska School Library Association, Chris Hafner, says that it might be inflammatory social media groups stoking this outrage.
And oftentimes, like, I'll get parents or community members that get rather excited about a book title that they've heard about on social media. They haven't seen the book, they haven't read the book.
She also says that if this ban were to go through, hundreds of titles could be removed regardless of their historical or social value. Sherry Jones, a Board of Education member who supports the ban, was uninterested in being interviewed, but did make a personal statement on the subject that is separate from the board. I believe the requirements of this policy are not overly burdensome for school districts, and more importantly, protect our children. For those opposing these policy changes, I ask, why should there be sexually explicit materials in our schools? Why? The proposal will be voted on in the next meeting on March 8th.
Artist co-op can be beneficial to the artist and their work. Creators can control more aspects of their work as well as learn business aspects of the art world. The community can interact on a more personal level as well. Artist co-op galleries are beneficial to artists in the world of art. Omaha has its very own artist co-op located in the Old Market at 405 South 11th Street. The gallery has been running since 1975. The gallery is operated and staffed by 35 artists working in all media.
Projection of what the culture is doing at the present time. And I think whether or not you are trying to reflect the culture, you do.
Art also has some positive mental effects as well. The Nebraska Arts Council says that 69% believe that art lifts them up above everyday experiences and 81% believes it's a positive experience in a troubled world. Their next opening reception is on Saturday afternoon from 2 to 4.
Ruth Gutzman, a former professor at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine and window of a Wall Street investor, announced she is donating $1 billion to the school in the Bronx. The gift means that four-year students immediately go tuition-free, while everyone else will benefit in the fall. That's all for today. Join us again next week for more news and entertainment in the Heartland.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at UNO The Omaha News, or find our website for even more news and stories at unomahanews.com.
From all of us here at UNO Television, thanks for watching.
For more than 20 years, only one program has addressed topics that matter to viewers. Only one program delivers the information that Nebraskans need to live the good life. I'm Kathy Wyatt. Join my guests and me as we discuss those issues every week on a program we call Consider This.
For me, it's about understanding the process of communication and what we learn through that process.
So something that you'll find within the School of Communication graduate program is that there is such a rich field of expertise.
I can think of no other discipline where we spend so much time focusing on not just one side of the conversation, but all sides of the conversation.
Not only do you get to work closely with other graduate students that come from all different walks of life, but you get to learn from graduate faculty that take those perspectives and help you grow yourself in a way that teaches you to be an academic, but also lets you be you in a really unique way.
I chose UNO very specifically, not just because I live here, I'm proud to represent here, but because I thought their program offered strengths that I didn't see in other programs.